For any concrete flatwork project, having the right type of aggregate subbase is critical. The right amount of material at the right depth, compacted to the right density. In most cases, you need a minimum of 30 centimeters of aggregate with between 10 and 12% moisture content. There are multiple factors to consider when selecting and placing concrete for stamped applications. Mix design, slump, metal reinforcement, and the type of forming are all important factors that will play a large part in the strength and durability of the concrete. Once the concrete is placed, it is screeded to the same level as the forms and then floated. As you can see here, hand floats are being used. This drives the aggregate down and brings paste to the surface. This is important, especially with stamped concrete, to create a nice uniform surface to get a clean imprint when the concrete is stamped. Once the concrete has been floated and has set up where all the surface bleed water is gone, the first application of color hardener is broadcast. Color hardener is typically hand broadcast across the surface at an angle to avoid creating any divots. As you can see here in the video, the applicators are throwing the material across the surface to avoid any puddling. Once color hardener has been placed and allowed to wet out from underneath, a bull float is used to incorporate the color hardener into the surface of the concrete. Once floating is complete, any edging and detail work is completed. After the concrete has set, any additional troweling can take place to create a smooth and uniform surface. Once the concrete is hard enough to stamp, you can apply your release agent. The first step is priming the tools by putting release agent on the stamped surface of the imprinting tool. The second step is applying a thin layer of release agent across the concrete surface. You want to make sure the surface is completely covered with release agent. The process of stamping plastic concrete requires the use of imprinting tools and the proper technique. Setting the first tool is critical to assure that the pattern is accurate and stays on course across the concrete slab. Most modern imprinting tools are designed to fit into each other like puzzle pieces. It's important to practice in a sandbox or in a dirt field before getting onto the concrete to make sure the applicators understand how the tools go together. In this particular case, this is a herringbone brick pattern where the tools fit together in a certain way. Once the concrete has reached the proper hardness, the imprinting tools are set, and then a tamper is used to push them down into the concrete. Utilizing the right amount of pressure and consistently stamping the tools across all areas is important to establish a uniform stamped surface. Either during or immediately following stamping, rollers, chisels, and touch-up mats are used to detail the concrete. This is an important step to finish the stamping process. Chisels and rollers and mats eliminate any mistakes, finish off grout lines, and take the stamp pattern all the way to the edge of the forms. Detailing is important to turn a good concrete job into a great concrete job. After the concrete has completely set, the release agent is removed with a hose. It is important to remove all of the excess powder from the surface. To add a level of realism, Bomanite chemical stains can be used to touch individual stones, creating a very natural look. Utilizing a natural chip brush, the chemical stain is applied to individual stones in a light application. It is important to maintain the stain within the stone so you do not get bleed and or discoloration outside of that area. Working the stain in with the brush provides a deeper, more natural color. Removing excess water while staining also helps keep the stain within the designated area. Utilizing multiple different colors and applying in a random pattern creates a very natural and realistic look. Once the stains are fully reacted, utilizing a pressure washer to remove any excess color is recommended. Once the concrete is fully dry, a good quality color enhancing sealer is applied. Utilizing a low nap roller, the sealer is applied in multiple thin coats. As you can see, the sealer enhances and brings out the deep natural beauty of the colors. Once the concrete sealer is dry, the stamped concrete is now ready for a lifetime of enjoyment and use.